If you haven't already seen episode 37, we are going to build off of the content that I did in that episode. Again, no healing journey is strictly things you need to do. It is simultaneously things you need to stop doing combined with things you need to start doing in its place. So I have already covered the things that we need to stop doing, and I've covered it in a similar fashion in both episodes, physically, emotionally, and mentally. So now we're going to talk about the things to put in their place. All right. So again, physically, the classic food and nutrition, the core of why I believe to be the core of why it is that we have diabetes to begin with. Exercise, cleansing the environment, reconnecting with nature and our source. Emotionally speaking, the trauma that we experience as being diagnosed with diabetes and being, given a diagnosis and what we can do to help heal that and guard against anything further. And then mentally, the mental game of, okay, now I've got this. What can I do? What is my outlook? And how do I move forward with the rest of my life? So one thing I want to get out of the way immediately is that usually when people talk about, hey, these are the things you got to do for diabetes, and I warned against this in episode 37, talking about quick fixes, right? We need to avoid people who are selling quick fixes. And what I don't want to be is the person that says, hey, be wary of the quick fix, and then in the next episode in the same breath say, hey, listen to what I did, you got to try this. So people need to let go of the idea of just strictly linear progress, right? Like, okay, so if these three things are good and I do them in a row, then at the end I'll be healed, right? Diabetes enacts a much more complex system of imbalances and compensations in the body than that can be healed in a supplement here. Oh, no more whole wheat. It's not that simple. So let go of the idea of, okay, well, if I do these three things, is everything going to be better? It's a learning process, right? Healing is about giving yourself the tools to know what to do in the moment and enact what the moment calls for, which can be different. You may need to do the same thing, 2 months in a row, 3 different times. And so we need to let go of the idea of linear healing, with the focus on learning as much as we can in all of the interventions that we are enacting to create a collage of a amended system, right? We are much more than just a pile of parts. Everything in our system has a relationship with something else. Messing with one thing is going to stress something else, is going to stress something else. Restoring balance takes time. Okay. That's been the hardest lesson for me as well. And so people want the fish. They don't really want to learn how to fish. And you may know the old adage, help a man today or feed a man today by giving him the fish, feed a man for life by teaching him how to fish, right? And my approach to healing diabetes on an individual by individual basis has much more to do with learning how to fish given your unique circumstances that brought about your diabetes, as opposed to the quick fix of, oh, hey, you got it, here are the 5 things you're going to do, and then everything's going to be better. Because it is so much more about learning about yourself and learning what you need. Because I could tell you what I did and what I'm doing. You may do it and you're not going to see the same results. And that doesn't make what I said worth any less. It's just that it may not have fit your unique circumstances. So part of your job and part of your healing is to learn, what do I need? And that's part of the how to fish aspect of healing. So we're going to talk on both sides of this as we move forward. So keep your mind open. Now, this is more of a statement for those who are younger in their life in their diagnosis, but it's true for everyone, regardless of how old you are. But diabetes is a disease that is going to call for you to go against the grain. I would argue that going with the grain and fitting in and, being normal, eating foods that everyone else eats, and doing, all of the things that we do and take for granted in a day-to-day basis in Western society is rooted in making us sick to some degree, right? So as someone with diabetes who is going to be responsible for taking care of yourself, you are going to have to establish a new normal, and you are going to have to be the one to enforce that for yourself. And it can be intimidating. It can be a little overwhelming at times, but once you see it as an opportunity for you to kind of like step into your shoes as a leader, as an advocate for yourself, everything gets easier. Everything gets better, including your health and including your diabetes. So your loyalty, no matter your situation, teammates, friends, parents, household, what have you, is to your well-being, right? And so pre-diagnosis, post-diagnosis, there's going to be changes. There are going to be things that you used to do that you enjoyed that might not be so much fun anymore, or things you wish you could do again, but every time you do them, your body tells you no, right? So each break from an old hurtful habit needs to be seen as a statement of self-love. I am changed. Things are changing. New things are being asked of me, and I'm able to step up and do them in the name of my health, which is what matters most to me.